Good morning, podcasters. Welcome to Going On Daily Live. I'm your host, Becky, and I'm here with Mr. Rodrigo. Good morning.
Good morning. How
Now,
are you?
well, we are good. I am good. Now, this is unexpected that you and I are going to be together today, just like Tuesday. This week has gone a little off the rails, let's say, since you've
Yes,
been
off
on
the
every
rails.
day.
I was
You've
supposed to do
been on
one
every day
show
this
this
week.
week.
Yeah, and so far it's been 4. So, I mean, that's unfortunate. I feel for you. Manage your life, am I right?
Yeah,
So,
I guess, it is what it is.
yeah.
I plan on bringing a lot to today, so let's
Yes.
see how it goes.
So originally, today's day was going to be JJ and I, and we were going to be making this Conspiracy Thursday, where we talked all the conspiracy theories, whatever. Hers, I don't know what hers were even going to be like. I saw the titles, I wasn't quite sure, but that was what today was going to be. Unfortunately, there was an incident near where she lives that knocked down the internet. So, I mean, I suppose she could have tried from her phone, but that's a lot of
I think
work.
it was all her power.
Oh, was it? That what it was, the power, okay.
Yeah, I think somebody must have hit a telephone pole and knocked out all the power, so she has no
Oh,
power.
that's what it was, okay. I mean, I read this thing at 7 in the morning, so it's unfortunate that it's not gonna be 100% Conspiracy Thursday, but trust me when I say that all of my topics are. So, we'll see. And
I'm looking forward to it.
who
I know
better to
that.
do it with than Ron, who is going to go "Wah!" at every single one of them. I cannot wait. Okay, let's start this off with a this day in history.
All
On this
right.
day in 1931, the Empire State Building in New York City is officially opened and the lights are turned on for the first time.
Sweet.
30, almost
What a
100 years
beautiful
old.
building.
Yeah, it is gorgeous. I've never been to New York, but it looks amazing from photos.
I mean, it looks better when there's a giant gorilla on top
Oh,
of it, but
naturally. Yes, yes, of course. Is that what it was? The Empire State Building that he climbed?
yes, yes.
Okay. So that movie must have come out shortly after the building was created. So no wonder they had him climb
Wait, what
that.
was
It
the
was
year it
probably was
opened?
31.
I believe King Kong was 1939, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
So that makes sense. Like, let's see. Yeah. Well, it says King Kong has been a pop culture icon since 33.
Oh, maybe it was 33. It
Remake
could
of
have
the,
been 33.
but I
I
wasn't
wasn't
sure.
alive then, so
Right. I just wasn't sure if maybe a book was made ahead of time or something. But yeah.
no, it might
So
have been 33.
in 1933, the Empire State Building was still brand new and exciting. So no wonder they used that.
Yeah.
Very cool. I love it. I love this day in history. This
Yeah,
dollar
because
store calendar has not disappointed.
it gives you a guaranteed story.
Hmm.
I got to
Like
get
yes,
that calendar because I could have used it today.
yeah, totally. Well, I quite often will get my topics from here. So, like it said
There
yesterday,
you go.
Germany turns its clock forward for 1 hour, becoming the first country to implement nationwide daylight savings time. That was in 1916. So
I hate it.
109 years ago.
Hate it.
It just doesn't make
Dumb.
sense to me, quite honestly. Granted, in the summer, it's light out till almost 11 o'clock where I live, which is cool. However, for, in the wintertime, it's like 4 o'clock and it's dark. But I know. It doesn't make sense to me also.
No,
I wanna
no,
say
I don't like it.
Saskatchewan?
I think it's dumb.
Saskatchewan near me doesn't have it. Oh, I could be wrong. Anyways, I'm not gonna blah, blah, blah for too long. We do that. We have a lot to get through today. I will just let everybody know where they can find us live. First off, hit us up on Facebook at RI Broadcasting or our Rhode Island Broadcasting. You can follow the show over there, watch it live. You can also support the show with stars over there. You can check us out on YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting, and you can subscribe or hit the little bell or whatever so that you know exactly when we're going on live. And of course, on Twitch at RI_broadcasting, where you can support the show with bits. Plus, we have all the social medias. Anything that you can think of, we've got it. Some variation of
All right
Rhode
there.
Island Broadcasting, MeWe, TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky. Always forget that. Space,
Hey.
Hey, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And of course on Patreon at RI Broadcasting, where you can support the show, get some swag, look at that mug. That's a beautiful mug. support the show over there. Keep the lights on, right?
That's
Okay.
right. Definitely got to do that.
Let's dive into this. Actually, one more thing before we start. I was going through Facebook memories today because like there's nothing more embarrassing than like an earlier version of yourself, right, on Facebook. On this day, May 1st, 2012, and keep in mind it's my ex-husband's birthday today, so this would have been
Oh, well, happy birthday.
yeah, happy birthday to him. This was my status. I hate all the birds outside my window every morning. I wish they'd all just shut up and fly to Florida or have someone turn them into soup. It's unnecessary for them to be squawking at 5 a.m. So
Wow.
it
Now,
clearly
wait a minute.
state.
You're on the West Coast.
Mhm.
Do the birds on the West Coast fly to Florida?
Mhm.
Or do they go to California?
No, they go to Florida. Well, I don't know. I've never followed a bird, but to my knowledge, they go to Florida or
It doesn't
further.
make any sense. That's a longer journey.
Yeah, it is. They just work harder here in Alberta, I guess.
I think that's a marketing thing that Florida
Maybe.
came up with, and all
Listen,
the birds fly to Florida. I think that's false.
I think I need a tracking device is what I need. I need to follow these birds to wherever they go come, I don't know, October, November, and see what actually happens. I really have no idea.
I'm
I
gonna have
just
to look
assumed.
that up and do a
Let me
story
let
on
me
it.
look that up. Yeah,
Do
please do, because I was fairly certain that it was Florida and or Central America, but
hmm,
could be wrong.
interesting. It
Yep, could be
that
wrong.
is an interesting thing because it
Totally.
struck me as weird that they would do that in Edmonton area. You know,
Mhm.
all of Alberta birds they fly to Florida. Why wouldn't they just go to California?
Because even wildlife doesn't want to be there in that garbage hole. And I'm not getting a Christmas card from California this year.
Yeah, probably not.
That's
No,
okay. I don't want it anyway.
I miss out on a lot of Christmas cards, so don't worry.
Yes, I've noticed. All right, well, let's dive into our first story here on part one of Conspiracy Thursday. So, this one I'm calling alleged suicide of an accuser. I mean, I'm saying that very because I don't know if I believe that it was actually suicide. So, behind me, you may recognize these people. This is Prince Andrew. Right here is Ghislaine Maxwell, accomplice of Jeffrey Epstein, and in the middle is someone named
Yep.
Virginia Giuffre, I believe is how you say the last name. I don't speak French.
That
So, and this had come
she looks
out.
young.
Oh,
Looks
she was a
young.
teenager here. Yes, I think she was something like 17 or maybe 18, but I think younger than that.
I'm taking it that's not his daughter.
No, and also my dad doesn't hold me like that. Yuck. So, Virginia Giuffre, if that's how we're saying it, so that was Jeffrey Epstein's most prominent accuser, has died by suicide on April 24th.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first responders in Western Australia, where she's living, found her unresponsive at her farm and told People magazine that early indications show that the death is not suspicious. I hate when they say this. Look, when
Which
a
actually
40
makes it suspicious.
like when a yeah, exactly. Like any sort of suicide is suspicious. Like let's put it that way. Especially someone as prominent in this world as Virginia, okay? Now, her death comes less than a month after she told people that her husband, Robert Giuffre, was physically abusive. Giuffre? I really wish I knew how to say that. In the end, the toll of the abuse is so heavy that it became unbearable for Virginia to handle its weight, her family said in a statement. We know that she's with angels. Okay. So now her lawyers and loved ones are saying that despite her suffering, she used her story to advocate for other survivors. Virginia was much more than a client to me, said her attorney. She was a dear friend and an incredible champion for other victims. Her courage pushed me to fight harder, and her strength was awe inspiring. So now, in 2010, like this is long before really the mainstream knew about Jeffrey Epstein. Now, granted, he had been in trouble already at this point, but we didn't know about it because in 2010, everyone was still pretty eyes wide shut kind of thing. In
Mm-hmm.
2010, she accused Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell of sexual assault, claiming they recruited her to join their sex trafficking ring when she was a minor. She also alleged that the pair forced her to have sex with Prince Andrew, whom she later sued for sexual abuse. Now, they did reach an out of court settlement in 2022. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, like, you want this guy to suffer, but at the end of the day, the the Prince of England, the son of the Queen of England, isn't going to jail for his crimes, okay?
No.
So I think she did the right thing by settling. I mean, yeah, he did something horrible to her. She was a child. She deserves a lot more than money, but I mean, at least take what you can get, knowing that
Yeah,
his lawyers
probably
are a heck of a
a
lot better
gag
than
order
yours.
too.
Oh, I'm sure of it. Although I don't believe she ever stopped talking about it. I
Good.
mean, maybe that's why she moved to Australia. Maybe she was originally from there, maybe family was from there, I don't know, but maybe she moved there because she wasn't allowed to, be around anymore. I don't know. So, this photo, this widely circulated photo behind me, shows the Duke of York with his hands around her waist while Ghislaine smiles in the background. Now, let's put this in perspective. She's a teenager. This is the Prince of England. This is her handler. There's a lot of pleasantries going on. Now, Virginia also has a smile. Who knows? Maybe she was a runaway. Maybe this was a life that looked appealing to her. All she had to do was just make a couple of old dudes happy, and she got paid for it. I don't know. I don't know what the compensation was for it. The end of the day, this is a child. Okay. So this is angry. I don't know where her head was at the time. I'm not one to judge. I'm not one to say I wasn't there. However, this is a weird photo. The energy in this photo is very weird. And I'm also wondering who's taking it right here because you can see the flash right there. So someone is taking it. Maybe Jeffrey Epstein.
Probably Jeffrey.
I'm guessing so. Yes. So apparently, Prince Andrew told the BBC that he had no recollection of this incident, and he suggested that the photo must have been doctored. Today's day and age, it is
That's
very possible,
BS.
but you're right,
Yeah,
it
but
is
it's
BS.
BS.
Yes. So Gouffre, she was the first of Epstein's accusers, coming forward, in 2010, using her name in the press because a lot of people want to go unnamed, right, for fear of whatever's going to happen to
Mm-hmm.
them. But, she had said that she has a daughter and she doesn't want her growing up in a world that's so vicious. So she was trying to be an advocate for them. In late March, so just 1 month ago, Virginia posted a photo of her bruised face on Instagram saying she'd been in a car crash and that due to kidney renal failure, the doctors have given her 4 days to live. I wonder if you've got 4 days to live. Are you posting it on Instagram? I don't know. I don't know. Less than a week later, so, probably more than the 4 days, around that 4 day mark, she told People magazine that her husband of 22 years had been physically abusive to her throughout their marriage. Her brother and sister in law then told the magazine that they weren't sure whether her recent medical issues, so the bruising, was caused by her husband from his abuse or an accident that she's saying, a car accident, or a combination of the two. Who knows? The sister-in-law is saying that she did almost die after a domestic violent incident in January. So she is fighting real physical pain that she endured, and she's fighting mental pain as well. Obviously, this girl was going through a serious mental battle, not to mention all the stuff from her past. Okay. Like
Right.
just abuse from your husband alone is enough to struggle.
Where did she meet her husband?
When or where?
Where?
I'm not
And when?
sure. That's definitely something to look into because, I mean, I always think about this, people who are victims of major abuse, people who've been kidnapped, like J.C. Lee Dugard, people like that.
Yeah. And
How
how
do they
much
go
older
on?
was he?
Well, how much, yeah, right. How much counseling do they have to go through? How much trauma do they have in order to go into a new relationship? Like I
Yeah.
know how much baggage
It's
I brought into my marriage. And I had nothing like this happen to me. So I can't even imagine the type of relationship that a person who goes through major, major trauma, what their new relationships are like, if any, quite honestly.
hmm.
So the sister in law goes on saying, sometimes when the mental pain overrules, you can't even see anything else but that. So they're not saying whether or not she actually did kill herself. However, this is where it starts to get weird if this wasn't weird enough. Virginia Giuffre had made an X, a tweet, whatever you call them now, an X post, and I don't know the exact date of when, but it doesn't matter the date. This is what it says. I am making it publicly known that in no way, shape, or form am I suicidal. I have made this known to my therapist and GP. If something happens to me, in the sake of my family, do not let this go away and help me protect them. Too many evil people want to see me, it's cut off, but I think it said see me destroyed
Yeah,
or silenced. I
and
can't remember.
that speaks volumes because there's no way you're gonna post that and kill yourself. She was
Literally.
she was concerned for her life.
Hmm. There's also a lot of comments, and now TikTok is a great place to find conspiracy stuff because it seems to be a little uncensored or less censored than, definitely Google. A lot of people are commenting about how there are CCTV images showing her being followed by men in suits the day before she passed and on the day she passed. So whether these were bodyguards, I don't know. I am just wondering though, like, if she's just walking around like it's no big deal, except she was expected to die a month ago. So she's just like
Secret
backing at it.
Service.
Well, maybe. You're right. Someone else had said you don't come through a car crash with renal failure expected to die in 4 days to survive it just to kill yourself a couple weeks later. Do
It
you?
kind of looks like the girl that was taken in a photo with Mr. President,
Oh, probably. I like
like the same girl.
are they all up on the same secret elite? Probably. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, he definitely got pictures taken with a little girl.
oh, I'm sure of it. All of them. They're all disgusting. Like, when I say I hate Hollywood, it extends to politics, to sports, to I mean, the film industry, the music industry. Gosh, the music industry is bad, as we know by Diddy and Friends. Um, Mostly everybody, honestly. I know that I don't do it, my family doesn't do it, so I can quite confidently say I don't hate us, but like everyone else, probably I do.
Yeah, I'm there with you. You know,
Yes.
it's appalling what they get away with.
For sure. So I guess I took another screenshot here. It was saying that the reason that she had this accident or the context of this car accident was that a school bus traveling 110 kilometers an hour, so 68 miles per hour, hit her as she was slowing down for a turn. What school bus is going 70 miles an hour? I guess if it's on the
Mm.
highway, but like, I don't know. It's not
No,
really,
they
it's
are
not,
not allowed to go that fast.
okay, I didn't think so. Like 110 is like our big highways, okay? 110 kilometers. There's no way.
I
I mean,
think
uh,
I think that they're only allowed to go 50.
interesting. So that's about 80 kilometers. I mean, I'm just thinking of like the times my kids have like taken a school bus on a field trip. They've have to go into the city, maybe. But again, like who's slowing down for a quick turn? I don't know. It doesn't seem. All of it seems a little suspicious to me. That's all I'm going to say. The fact that she had a tweet at some point in this, 15-year span of her accusing Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell of all this, um, that she was not suicidal and that if she dies this way to investigate it, that is suspicious to me. That is suspicious. Unless, like, if you really want to mind F everybody, that's what you're going to do.
Yeah, but you would if you were thinking about that, you would give some sort of a goodbye message.
You would think something cryptic, something, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with you. Something seems off. The math ain't math in here, Ron.
because even up till that point when someone decides to commit suicide,
Mhm.
they are hoping somebody recognizes them
Mhm.
and possibly even talk them out of it.
Yeah,
That's what the hope is,
for sure. Yeah, of
because you're
course.
trying to see who cares.
Yeah. Yeah, really, cry for help. You're right. This is why I think that, you know, just like Jeffrey Epstein, I don't think she killed herself.
She was silenced.
You think, I mean, at the height of 2000 whatever, 2020 was a big year for everything. 2019, you think she would have been silenced then, although that would have been pretty suspicious. Maybe they were playing the long game.
Well,
Hard to say.
I mean, when you're talking politics, what's a better time than this year to do it
Right.
when government is being dismantled?
Yeah, really. True.
There's no one to check up on it.
There are so many incidences of whistleblowers
Yeah,
having whatever. Car accident seems to be the big one. Heart attacks as well. Now you
yeah,
think, "Oh, you
yeah.
can't
You can
recreate
induce
a
a heart
heart
attack.
attack." Oh, you can. You absolutely can. Or shootings, things like that. I'm thinking people like Alex Jones, that commentator, was very outspoken. He said a lot
Yeah,
of things that, seemed to come to pass. Heart
yeah,
attack. Seth Rich, he was a whistleblower. Was he in the CIA or the FBI? I can't remember now. Another whistleblower just randomly shot on the street. Just randomly. Someone just walked up. That's it.
yeah.
Suspicious. Suspicious. So anyways, my heart goes out to her family and to her. Maybe she's gone
Absolutely.
into hiding. That's always my hope is that when a celebrity dies or a person dies, it's because they've gone into hiding.
Maybe that is true
I hope so.
because I mean the circumstances dictate that she needs to be,
Yes, 100%. So our
and
hearts go out to her.
she could be in some sort of what you call it protective
Yeah, witness
custody with
protective. I mean,
witness
it's so
protection. Yeah,
hard though because you're being protected normally when you go into those, mob families, uh maybe whistleblowers, whatever, someone who's witnessed a murder kind of thing.
yeah,
When you're hiding from the elites of the world, I
yeah,
hate
and
to
that's
break it
not
to
easy.
I hate to break it to people who are royal family lovers, as we talked about on Tuesday. The royal family goes deep, okay? It's probably one of the most powerful families in the world. Their pockets run deep, their ties run deep, their evil
Yeah,
connections run deep, okay? So you think you're going to hide
yep.
from the royal family? Probably not. And you think royal family's good friends with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and all the things? Why do you think her little black
What
book
would
of
you
names
do?
has never come out?
What would you do if you were trying to hide from basically the government?
I honestly have no idea. Is there anywhere to hide? You'd have to go majorly off grid. You'd have to give up your driver's license, your passport, money, at least digital money, social medias. Like, I don't know. You literally couldn't. You literally couldn't.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Maybe maybe somebody in the mob could do that.
Yeah, maybe.
That might be where you have to turn to go against the government.
Totally. Gosh, I
Not
don't
that I would
know.
do that. I'm
I
just saying.
I really don't want to think about that. Like, I hope it doesn't come to that point. Now, as tinfoil hat wearing as I am, I would say that it probably will come to that at some point, unfortunately. But I hope it doesn't. Anyway, that's it for that one. That's number 1 of 3 for today.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this next story isn't going to get any better. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
this is the Doom and Gloom Thursday show with Becky. Injured baseball fan. Okay.
All right. So after I found out I was doing the show about I don't know 15 minutes before the show,
I think you had a little more time this one. Maybe half an hour.
I as soon as I clicked on the internet to bring up the browser,
You were
and
like,
there it
"Oh,
was. I
no.
seen Andrew McCutcheon with his kneeling down, and it's like fan injured, and I'm
Oh,
like, wait, what
no."
the heck is this? And I figured, oh, maybe he got hit with a line drive or something like that. No,
Hmm.
no, no.
Hmm.
This man fell from the second balcony
Stop.
at PNC Park, where
Oh, no.
where the Pittsburgh Pirates play. I believe
Yes.
they were playing the Cubs last night. And so Andrew McCutcheon just had hit a, uh, a an RBI double, I believe,
Okay.
and moments later, a man fell from that second balcony down to the warning track on the field.
That's a big
Now,
fall. That's
I
a big
saw
fall.
the video of this.
Oh no.
The way they're interpreting this
Mhm.
is that the man was excited and jumped up and then fell over the railing and then came crashing down. He is in critical condition.
Jeez.
Now, I saw the video. To
Okay.
me, it didn't look like he was excited. It looked like he tried to jump over the railing,
Oh.
almost like
Hmm.
hurdling it with putting his hand on the railing. And then at the
Interesting.
last minute, it looked like maybe he changed his mind and it was too late because he kind of
Interesting.
spun over it and holding with one hand, he kind of banged his back onto the I guess that part of the wall
Mhm.
and then fell down onto the field. It looked like he might have changed
Oh.
his mind, but to me, it looked like he tried to jump over. It looked like he was ready to hurdle it and just jump.
Huh. Now.
I don't know. That is what I saw. I know what I saw, but
Mhm.
they're saying that he fell because of excitement.
Well, what else are they gonna say? Hey, we
Right,
served too much beer. The guy was wasted, fell
right.
over. No,
So
probably not.
so he fell onto, now to put this in perspective, the um the Roberto Clemente wall in
Mhm.
that section is 21 feet high. Then you have
Okay.
the bleachers, and then
Mhm.
you have the second deck bleachers above that.
Oh my gosh. So probably 50
So
feet at least.
it's got to be at least 50 feet, right? You would
You would
think.
think. Yeah.
Well, they put him on a stretcher and they continued the game 10 minutes later. And as you look at the photo of Andrew McCutcheon and many of the other players were down on a
Mhm.
knee, some were praying,
Yeah, look at this guy. He looks
and they
upset.
looked distraught.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh." I mean, it would be just
It's
like
stunning.
yes, yeah. It would have been very
A
stressful
long
because
way down.
yeah, that's wild.
It was an unbelievable scene, and I don't know. I hope the guy is going to be okay.
Mhm.
I'm not so sure he's going to make it though. He's in critical condition,
Yeah, of
and
course.
hopefully we get the news um, that he survives, and hopefully he can recover.
Man, like, even if you survive, like, all your bones breaking, are you paralyzed now? Did you break your neck?
Yeah,
Gosh, the embarrassment. No, that's the least of his concerns.
yeah. So I don't know. It's tough because whenever something like this happens, they always change rules and they
Of
try to
course.
make it safer. I mean, I remember a time, baseball didn't have any nets. Hockey didn't have the
Yeah,
netting up
they didn't have
around the
masks,
boards, right?
helmets, yeah,
They didn't wear masks, helmets, and every time something happens, they try to make it safer.
of course.
I mean, you can only do so much, though. I
At
mean, you
some
can't really
point
change anything.
at some point, common sense has to kick in. Like, my friend and I had this conversation when we were in Banff because she got kicked out of the bar for going behind the bar and making her own drink.
Oh,
This was Julie, whose birthday it just was. Okay.
great.
Yeah. She got kicked out. They were furious with her. I talked to the security guard the next day and he was like, "Your friend's an idiot." And I said to her, like, "Surely you knew that wasn't allowed." And she was like, "There was no sign that said I couldn't." She's like, I said, "Look, Julie, like it's common sense here." And she said, "No." She goes, "Why do they have to say don't burn yourself on a hot coffee? It's common sense. And yet they have to let us know." She goes, "They should have let us know that I can't go behind the bar." I'm like, okay. I
Hence
mean,
that silica
maybe.
stuff that they send in packages.
Yeah,
Do
don't
not
eat.
eat this
Yeah. You would think, like,
because
hey,
somebody ate it.
yeah,
Free
literally, this is
chicklets.
why there are warnings. So I mean, but at some point, common sense has to kick in. You can't be getting reckless on an edge on a balcony. You can't.
Yeah.
So whatever it is
Yeah.
that happened with this guy,
Yeah.
I
It
don't
looked
know.
like he hurdled it.
I'm gonna watch it after.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's
It's
interesting.
like I don't know. I don't know.
It's bizarre.
It
Well,
is bizarre, but it happens, and now we'll see what happens with the repercussions of
for
this.
sure.
Do they like limit the seating in front rows of balconies now? I mean, this is gonna have shockwaves through sports.
Right. I mean,
You
it's
know?
really it's hard to say because a freak accident can cause anything. Like maybe the guy had a heart
Yeah,
attack. Like I don't know, you're not an
yeah,
Oilers watcher, but like, a month ago, they had to stop the game right at the very beginning. I think it was the Edmonton Calgary game. They had to stop it because they said that there was something happening in the crowd. It turns out someone was having, I think, a heart attack and like fell down the stairs and they had to wait for ambulances to get there. But it's like
yeah,
they were just walking down the stairs, heart went out,
yeah,
you never know. I mean,
yeah.
luckily there's no balcony well, I mean, technically there is a balcony, but this person was on the first bowl, so
Right.
they didn't have to worry about
Yeah.
that. But yeah, it's
I mean, it's
wild.
it's. I think of Fenway Park. Whoa, that was weird. I
The
think a
ghost. The
guy
ghost
just
is
dive
back.
bombed me. um, I think of Fenway Park with
Mhm.
the monster seats.
Right.
So they sit up on the green monster wall now. Up
Right.
there, they made seats up there, and it would be awful if they stop letting people sit in those kind of seats,
Yeah,
and you have to have some sort of a buffer area. I
for
don't
sure.
know. I hope it doesn't come to that because of one incident, but it may be more than one incident at this point.
Right.
I mean, we don't know what goes on day to day at all these stadiums, so
Man,
it
that's
might not just be one incident.
that's wild. Yeah,
Yeah,
you really don't know. Crazy. Well, yeah, I hope this guy is okay. I mean, he's got a long road ahead of him if he's gonna survive this. So,
yeah,
oh,
yeah. Probably
terrible,
many surgeries too.
terrible story.
Yeah, just right in line.
Yeah, literally, right in line.
It's
You're right.
right in line.
This is true.
Oh
All
man,
right. Well, I've been looking forward to this one. I had a really hard time last night picking out which conspiracy I wanted to do. I did start researching Britney. I did.
good.
But
I'm
I
still
didn't
waiting a year for this.
we yes, and I will get there. The problem is the internet is a tough place to get information from because it's scrubbed. Okay? Like you
Yeah.
type in anything, Snopes, PolitiFact, Reuter all comes up saying, "Oh no, this is fake, conspiracy theorist, blah blah blah." Like when I was politically posting or anti-COVID posting or whatever, man, the amount of Instagram and Facebook jails I'd get put into for posting things and like
Oh,
legit
believe me, I
information.
know. I'm right there. We get
It's
it
an
all the time. We experienced it here.
it's because I'm on the show.
On this show with
It's
that
because I'm
that
here, I'm
case.
telling you. It follows me everywhere I go. I like to think that I have a pretty good show about cancer that's very wholesome and uplifting for people going through stuff. But like Becky's on it, so we're in jail. I'm telling you. It's funny, Ashley, my co-host, she's got like 10,000 followers. Okay? You think if anyone's going to get the likes, it's going to be her, but you put her with me and it's back into the jail. She even said, I don't know what's the deal. Like, I just cannot get likes on or follows on my stuff lately. Like, it's because you know me. I'm forever in social media jail. I'm going to have to create a new account, new IP address, all the things.
We can get those glasses with the nose and mustache that you can wear.
Incognito glasses. That's right. We'll look like Charlie Chaplin. Perfect. Great idea.
I work.
I love it. Realistically, I just need a
Today's
different IP
co-host
address.
is Charlie.
It's me, Charlie. Yeah, that's right. Well,
Charlie.
we'll see how they like us after this show here,
Oh,
which is
I
gonna go
know.
way past the top of the hour, by the way, folks, because we are at 8:44 my time, 10:44 your time, and we have barely scratched the surface.
Yeah,
So
we've
whatever.
we've done 35 minutes and have done two topics.
Yeah, well, I knew it was gonna happen this way. Maybe this will be our first 2-hour episode. We'll see.
It could be.
So we are talking Simpsons conspiracies. Now, I don't know how familiar you are with this, but there is all kinds of stuff in recent years that say,
Yeah.
are what's happening with the Simpsons? Are they predicting things? Are
Yeah.
they modern day Nostradamus?
Yep.
Are they time travelers? Are they in on an evil agenda? Are they simply just coming up with coincidences? Like, there's a lot of theories, and I don't know where I stand in this. Probably the world is in on a lot of evil agendas. History likes to repeat itself, and I don't think that that's a coincidence. If you
Might
believe
not be.
in like Hollywood, for example, being run by satanic pedos, the satanic agenda, then you believe that they have to actually put themselves out there, put the truth out there in a hidden way, because then it's okay. Right? Like, they've done their due diligence. I've put it out there. It's up to you to decipher it. Is kind of the mindset behind this satanic agenda. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what I believe on this. So, before I get into, some of the, really big ones that they've predicted, there was an interview with one of the I'm trying to think who it was here, which person. Yeah, someone from the show. I don't know who. But he basically says that oh, Al Jean. He says it's just a case of luck and longevity. If you write 700 episodes and you don't predict anything, then you're pretty bad. If you throw enough darts, you're going to get some bullseye. Okay. He does even agree that some of the predictions are quite crazy. I mean, the similarities are crazy, right? But the thing is, like, some of these are dead on. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let me change my background here because I've prepared for this. Some of these are crazy. Now, what does this look like?
New York, $9. What is it? A bus ticket to New York, or is
It's a
it the
it's a
fare?
magazine, but like, look at the twin towers behind it.
Oh,
The twin towers looks like an 11.
and the $9.
Yeah, so 9/11,
9/11.
New York. Now this one had come out in, gosh, I don't even remember what year this one was. I don't think I wrote this one down. Oh yeah, I did. 1997. So 4 years before the Twin Towers went down. Okay, like, it's very subtle. Keep in mind, like, not all of these are coming out and saying certain things, but some of them are very subtle. For example, Big Ben, there's a episode in 1995. Lisa's getting married in London. She's older. It's a projection in the future. I mean, it shows Big Ben going digital, which it hasn't done yet. But it also shows off into the distance. Oh, hey, Danny. Danny's here. Off in the distance, there's this building, and it's like a tower, and it's very, very pointy, long, skinny, like that. It's called the Shard. It's a short for something, but that wasn't built until 2012. So tell me how, in 1995, when they had this episode, that exact building showed up. Someone saw it maybe
I
and
mean,
thought, "Hey,
somebody
that would be
saw it and thought it
cool."
was a great idea and decided to become an architect and then built it.
Maybe. I mean, that feels like a stretch, but yes, I could understand that also. There's an episode from 2016 where Hollywood is burning down and there is no water. Good morning to my favorite Beck. Hey, hello, Danny. Hollywood is burning and there is no water. Okay. This happened in 2024 where fire stations went in to start, putting out these fires, and all of the or all the fire hydrants were struggling to produce any water. Okay.
Right.
In the show, it's showing like fire extinguisher store, and then it was like closed yesterday. This happened in 2016, 8 years before this literally happened. Then it's
Yeah.
talking the Ebola
I mean,
outbreak.
there's a lot. There's a lot.
Totally. There's an Ebola outbreak episode in 1997. This happened in 2014. There's a coronavirus episode where Kent Brockman is literally talking. He's got his newscast. It says coronavirus and has a cat there. Now, keep in mind, the first time I ever heard of coronavirus was when my cat Gary had it in 2006. I had to put him down because it's called FIP, feline infectious peritonitis, which was a type of coronavirus. This is where I heard of it for the first time. Okay, so it showed a cat, excuse me, sorry, I still have my cough, so I apologize. It shows a cat. It says coronavirus. That was in the year 2000. Obviously, we know what happened with the coronavirus in 2020. Then
Mm-hmm.
they have an episode where they're searching for a missing submarine that Homer was in. That was in 1998. It shows that it's under the water, it's losing air, it's losing signal, it's losing power. That happened in 2023 on that hunt for the Titanic.
Yep.
Of course, the 9/11 one here. They predicted the Queen's death. They show a picture of her or a scene of her dead. Behind it says 2023 to 1923 to 2022. Literally the same time she died. They had this episode in 2003. So 19 years before she died. How did they know?
Mm.
Right? It's not like that one could be predicted, could it? Couldn't be written. How about sorry, go on.
It's bizarre.
It's too weird. They just keep coming. Notre Dame or Notre Dame, however you guys say it,
Yeah.
burning. Now they on the episode it says Springfield, Notre Dame, Notre Dame, whatever, the cathedral burning. This is a
Yeah.
2010 episode. In 2019, it burned down as well. It looked
Yeah.
identical. The scene looked identical. How about in 2015 when Trump is campaigning for excuse me, for presidency? There's a video of him and Melania coming down the elevator in a mall, waving, whatever. In the year 2000, this exact scene happened on The Simpsons, where it's Trump. Only behind him is Homer Simpson. He gets somehow made small, gets sucked into Trump's hair, because I guess in 2000 his hair was a funny joke also. And he sees a sign that
Always been.
says, he sees a sign in the hair. It's like a terrain, it's like its own little land. A sign that says Trump 2024 in his hair in 2000.
Really? That's interesting.
I'm sorry, I'm all coughing here.
Because that was before he was already president in
2016.
because he
That's right.
won that election.
Well, here's the thing. He wasn't supposed to win the 2016 election. You don't think Hillary Clinton was supposed to get in? That was wild. Like, even for me, who, was a new conservative at that time in 2016, like, even I was shocked. I didn't think it was happening. And when it happened, I was like, no freaking way. No freaking way. The first female president to be a Clinton to boot. Shocked. After Obama, they go hand in hand. Okay. It was wild to me that happened. Okay, how about this one? Homer was doing a mathematical equation on a chalkboard where he is writing down like this one's really hard to explain, but basically it was the equation for Higgs boson for the God particle. Now, like I won't get into that. It is way too deep to get into, but please Google the God particle or Higgs boson, Higgs boson. This was in 1998, but researchers didn't discover the God particle until 2013.
Wait, so it predicted the equation?
Something like that. That's a deep one. That one's gonna need more. We're gonna need more
So the
time on that
math
one.
equation that wasn't
Supposedly,
created yet for that.
supposedly, basically the Higgs boson is a mathematical prediction in the standard model of particle physics. So now it was hypothesized in 1964 by someone named Peter Higgs and his colleagues. And of course, I'm reading. I don't know all this offhand. Who showed that if that if there exists a universe or a universal background field of a certain type, then particles that convey forces would behave as if they have mass. It has everything to do with physics, which I do not understand. Admittedly, I failed physics, so I really don't know. But yes, apparently there is a clip in 1998 of Homer writing out the equation for the God particle, which had not been discovered until 14 years later.
Well, that's interesting
That one's interesting.
because there's no way you can do that. I mean,
Literally. I mean, granted, the internet is a wild place where people like to alter crap all the time. And then someone takes a topic and they run on it, blah, 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 blah. So things get lost in
yeah, but
translation
that's a
all of the
little
time.
that's that is hard to do with that one. You know, I mean, you
Yeah,
have to actually physically know it to do
literally.
that
S-
out
I'm
on
going to do more
chalkboard or
research
whatever.
on this Simpsons one because maybe I'm missing something here. You're right. It seems almost like way too out there to be true. Like you can't even write that. You can't even dream that up. So I'm going to do my research more on that one and bring that up in another episode. So that I keep the momentum going here, how about this one? In 1998, they showed Fox, like the Fox logo, 20th Century Fox,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Underneath it, it said owned by Walt Disney Company or, a Walt Disney Company, whatever. In 2019, Disney bought Fox and now owns them. Now, that could have been
Yeah.
one they knew ahead of time, right? But the fact that it took 21 years to get there seems like a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah. I mean, that's tough because, I mean, Disney's buying everything anyway.
Mhm. True.
And they own ABC and Fox and
But in
ESPN.
in 1998, was
I
it
know.
the conglomerate it is now? I mean, obviously they didn't own Marvel, they didn't own Fox, they didn't own ABC, they didn't own any of those things. They just owned Disney and maybe
I think
Pixar
that's
back
a testament to what Disney has become.
Fair. You're right. When I say that everything is controlled by everything, the media is controlled by everything, Disney is one of them, but even that is just a pawn in a much higher
Yeah,
web.
I mean, when you think about it, I mean, all these look. There's coincidences, and then there's a pattern,
Mhm.
and there is definitely a pattern with The Simpsons.
For sure.
Something seems to be centered around this show that seems to have all these things that become true.
Right.
And I don't know what the forces are that are making this happen, but
Right.
something is making it happen.
For sure. This is what I'm saying.
And
What does The Simpsons know? Now, I don't think The Simpsons are time travelers. I don't think anything like that. I don't even know that I believe time travel exists. Like, because again, I don't do physics. I failed physics. I don't understand the concept of that. It literally doesn't, even space itself doesn't make sense to me. Okay. But like, could they be in on it as elites? You know, they're putting it out there, hidden in plain sight. I don't know. I don't know. It's
could be
confusing.
aliens.
It could be aliens. I don't necessarily believe in aliens per se. Per se.
We'd be
Okay.
naive to think that we're the only ones.
Okay, so another topic I was going to do instead of The Simpsons was Beyond the Ice Wall. So you can only see a tiny, tiny bit of Antarctica, right? Antarctica is huge. You can only see the tiny little bit, and then it is heavily patrolled. Not sure if you knew that. Heavily patrolled.
What do you mean?
You cannot go past a certain area in Antarctica.
Really?
Oh yeah, supposedly.
Huh.
Yeah. So beyond the ice wall, people want to know what's there. Well, apparently beyond that is another ring of continents and then another ring of continents, and that's apparently just our sphere. And then beyond all that, there are all different other spheres. Now, their names are things like Nibiru, Mars, Saturn, I think, like all different ones. So then, as I'm going down this rabbit hole yesterday, it's talking about what we were led to believe are planets in outer space are maybe actually different dimensions in our existence. But that one is like it's a lot to take in. I don't know where I'm at with that one. I do think that they are hiding stuff beyond Antarctica. That being said, they say that the Nazis fled for Antarctica after World War II and set up civilization there.
It's look nothing. There is nothing that would surprise me
On the
because
podcast,
I mean, there's got to be a whole underground world. To be honest with you,
totally.
I,
Middle Earth.
watching that show. Oh my god, I can't think of what it was. Um, I can't think of the name. It just started this year. Um, it's about the world coming to an end, and they created this
Oh, Last
underground
of Us?
city.
No, not The Last
No,
of
no,
Us. No.
no. They created this whole underground city, and that's where the president went, to run. And but he got killed. Blah 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 blah.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Now, do I believe that there's something like that already? Yes.
100%.
So if the world goes to hell, all those rich people have a place to go.
For sure. A lot of them seem to be building bunkers lately.
Yeah.
I love your show, my Beck. Danny, you're so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I know. It goes very deep. If you Google like a conspiracy theory icebergs, it'll show you like what you see above the surface. These are things like Epstein didn't kill himself and Hollywood pedos and blah blah blah. And then it just like gets deeper and deeper and deeper. And like literally last night, highly medicated and sick for almost a week now, I just could not wrap my head around everything
Yeah.
that I was reading.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't believe in all the things, like cloning seems to be a big one that people talk about. I don't know. I don't know if I believe in it, right? But maybe. I don't know. I'm not I think that if it can be thought of, it can exist. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point
Yeah.
in
And there's
in
always
in
somebody out there
reality
to
it can
do it.
exist. Yeah, exactly. People are freaks, right? Okay, I'm gonna keep going with the Simpsons one here because there's a lot. And like I said, this is gonna be a 2-hour episode. So stick around, Danny. You got some time here. The Dubai flood in 2015, there was an episode showing all these cars underwater with a bunch of Arab men. They had like the white, I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude to your culture, but hat with like the tie around it there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wearing whatever garb. And that was that was 2005 or 2005, and then in 2014 that happened. In a 2015 episode, Homer's looking at his phone. He goes to click on Twitter, except that it has an X on it instead of a bird. And then it doesn't say it's Twitter, but what it does show is that the exact format of Twitter. That was in 2015, which, as we all know, happened in 2023 when Elon Musk changed the name to X. How about this one? You're going to find this one. You're going to not like
Well, I
this
think
one.
that one was interesting.
Totally. Totally. Okay. In
That's a hard one. Yeah.
1993, there is an episode of a helicopter spinning round and round out of control and crashes. It looks identical to the footage of Kobe's helicopter. Identical. To further that, outside of The Simpsons, there was another TV show, and I didn't write it down because this is a Simpsons episode. That actually talks about Kobe dying in a helicopter crash years before he died. Now they have taken it down. It was like a comedy sketch, a cartoon comedy sketch, whatever. They've taken it down when this actually happened, but I don't know. Seems
Well, that's
odd.
a tough one to predict. Let me tell you.
In this exact Ron, please don't interrupt my Beck when she's talking. Never up her. So disrespect. You know what, Danny, I do appreciate you trying to stand up for my honor, but this is all fun and games here with Ron and I. It is all love, so don't even stress. You don't need to stand up for me. It's okay if Ron cuts me off. It is totally fine. This is the nature of the show. Okay, what else we got here? Okay, how about police stations being burned down in a protest in 2005? This was it. Now, I mean, this could be a bit of a stretch because a police station, a protest being burned down, it makes sense. People get crazy when they riot, but it looked
Yeah,
identical to in 2020 when a police station was burned down after the BLM and COVID riots and stuff. Identical. The
yeah,
pictures, like the frames side by side, identical. There's another one of 2006 where they go in front of J.C. Penney, where the store is completely shut down. It has gone out of business. I mean, in 2006, J.C. Penney was booming. There was no way to know that. But in
yeah.
2020,
There's
they
no way
closed
to
their
know that.
doors. Yes.
How do they predict that?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
put that right alongside of the Kobe one.
Mhm.
I just don't think you can predict that.
Mhm.
I mean, why would you when Kobe was first starting to become a star, why would you even think he was going to be in a helicopter?
Well, literally, yes. You
Because they
you would
take
have no
planes
idea.
everywhere.
You would have no idea. Yes, you're
Right.
right. Um, I think with that, now again, depends how far down the rabbit hole you go. But in, like, let's say the Illuminati world, they can turn off someone's celebrity at any time. So if you've done something to piss them off, you don't fulfill your contract's done being famous, they can turn off your celebrity and that's it.
Right.
And so they fake kill you. So
Yeah, but
like
it's the way it happens is what's so eye opening. And then predicting J.C. Penney, there was no way you would ever
I
think that J.C.
yeah.
Penney was
I
ever
mean,
going to go bankrupt.
and to what gain, honestly, in 2006, really? I mean, with the Kobe thing, yeah, maybe I understand. JCPenney's still alive and open at Culver City Mall. Interesting. I guess it's like there's one lone blockbuster out there, you know. They're just holding on to it.
Yeah, don't worry, they'll be gone soon.
Okay, so you're gonna love this story. In 2010, there was an episode. It shows a helicopter of Fox News, someone getting out of it into the crown of the Statue of Liberty. I don't know, I've never been to New York, so I don't know. Is there stuff up in the crown? Can you go up there?
Yeah, I don't know if you still can, but
Maybe at one time you could.
yes, yes.
So it shows people around a huge table in the crown of the Statue of Liberty, and it's all different news stations. Okay, we got Fox, ABC, NBC, BBC, whatever, all of them.
Hmm.
There's someone in there, one of them saying, "Listen, people, we need to come up with the next crisis." Okay. And someone says, "What about a good old fashioned health scare? A new disease. No one's immune to it." And everyone's like, "Yeah, yeah, great idea. Great idea. A good old fashioned health scare." Remember, 2010. But someone then says, "Well, it can't be a made up disease. We need to release a virus into the general public. We do have something we've been holding on to, but it hasn't been tested," another guy says. And then he stabs, I think it's ABC, with this needle and he goes down. They're like, "Perfect." And they said, "Now we just have to blame it on something that's in every household, something that people are a little bit afraid of." And then it goes to Kent Brockman saying, on the news saying the house cat flu is coming. And then it lists all the symptoms that are like completely random. Like, remember in the early days of COVID, it's like, oh, it's this. Oh, actually, it's this as well. It went from a respiratory thing to, oh, you have diarrhea, COVID. Oh, you have sniffles, COVID. Oh, your eye is watering, COVID. Oh, your taste is, it's like all these things. So, I mean, that's another interesting one too. Again, could it be predicted? Maybe. Who knows? But to me, I don't know. I think they know. I think they know more than they're letting on. And like we said, they could just be reality is imitating Simpsons. Maybe not in that one, but I mean, there's a Game of Thrones episode where the dragon is burning down the city. It looks identical to a Simpsons episode ahead of time. There was a Balenciaga fashion show showing Anna Wintour there, and she's in this floral dress. It's identical, including like the clothes that they do are identical to the Simpsons. So again, they're probably imitating it. Lady Gaga at the Super Bowl, her halftime show looks identical. So I don't know,
I think
maybe.
I think there might possibly be something to this,
Yeah.
and it could be. I mean, when you look at the writing, I mean that's where it all is. It's all in the
Mhm.
writers.
Yeah.
How creative are they to get things right? You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's
It's
just
like
it.
how do you get this right this many times?
And I've only scratched the surface. There was like 100 different ones, and some of them were very small, but it's like, "Oh, Simpsons did it again." But it's sort of a or the egg scenario. What came first? Was it The Simpsons
Right.
predicting it and then society copying it? Or, or are they time travelers? I don't know. I'll leave it with this, with The Simpsons. Yesterday was actually supposed to be a very big day in the Simpsons prediction world. And it doesn't seem, now that we are in May, it doesn't seem like it came to pass here. But there was an episode where there shows a big, massive blackout. This came out in 1998. A massive blackout for April 30th, 2025. There's another episode in 2013 where Mr. Burns says the days sorry, set I can't even read my own writing here, where Mr. Burns says that the end of energy has already been scheduled. There's also an episode in 2007 where Lisa's holding a book that says the last day of civilization, and on the cover it's dated April 30th, 2025. There's also an episode that say May 2025 is World War III. So, I don't know. It doesn't seem like April 30th has come to pass unless there's some sort of blackout. And then I was like, "Oh my gosh, JJ's power's down." But like coincidence. Clearly coincidence.
Oh,
But we'll see.
Simpsons predicted that,
Will
JJ.
will World War III happen in May of this year? In this month that we're in? Who knows? But
I
anyways, that
mean,
that took that took some time for the Simpsons one, but I thought it needed as much information as I gave
I
it,
hope
if
that
not
doesn't come
more.
true.
Yeah,
Hope that
literally.
doesn't
I'm
come
too
true.
tired
Let
for
me
that.
tell you.
Listen, I'm just trying to get enough water in the day. I don't have time to go to war, okay? I barely have enough time to do all the things I want to do.
But at least we'll have somewhere to send Kenny. We can send Kenny to cover the war.
I'm standing here live in New London, Connecticut. I'm sure that's where the war is going to break out, Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Everyone in a boat shoe and a striped shirt with a boating cap. I doubt it very much. Okay, what do we got here? Danny says, one day at Santa Monica College, all of us students, we felt throwing up, headache, not feeling well. We did not know what happened. Recently, it happened to all of us. Interesting. I mean, the water, that's an easy one. You put something in the water and everyone goes down,
Well,
right?
that's the trouble, right?
Hmm.
You know, and I don't know. I don't even really want to say it because we'll get in trouble for it. Um, but if that's what terrorist groups decide to do, I
Hmm.
don't know if there's anything we can do to stop it.
Literally, no. And not that I'm a believer in zombies by any means. However, I've seen enough shows now to know that there are
It's
diseases
possible.
that can turn you a little crazy. Remember when bath salts was a thing? Like not long ago, there was that guy in Miami like ripping the face off somebody, like because
Mm,
of this weird drug, bath salts. It turned him literally into a flesh
yeah,
eating cannibal. So, I mean,
yeah.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying, okay, there's a reason that all of these things are in Hollywood. Okay. Transhumanism, cannibalism, zombies, end of the world. There is a reason why we keep seeing all of this in Hollywood because it's
Because it
probably letting us know
happens
it's going to
somewhere.
happen.
It
Totally.
happens somewhere.
It has to.
Like everything. Look, movies and TV imitate life.
Yes, absolutely. It does. Now, again, chicken or the egg, does it
And vice
imitate
versa.
life or does life imitate art?
Right,
I don't
and
know.
vice versa.
Yes.
Because when you start looking at old episodes of sci-fi stuff,
Hmm.
whether it's Star Trek or Battlestar Galactica, whatever you're into,
Yes,
you see that stuff materializing in our lifetime.
for sure. Yeah, I know. It's,
Just saying.
yeah, just saying, I'm not saying. Yeah, totally. I get it. Okay, let's dive into your top five. Is it a pleasant one today, or is it along the lines here of
No,
doom and gloom?
no. It's well, I
Okay,
mean,
disaster
it's
movies. Okay, I got it.
So today on May 1st is Kalan Mai,
Okay, Kalon Mai.
which yeah
Okay.
celebrate this day with the lighting of bonfires to fend off evil spirits
Oh,
and
dang.
witches.
Okay, this fits in perfectly. I love it.
So I thought it would be pretty neat to have top 5 movies with fire in the title.
Yeah, of course.
And, and although I think my top 5 is pretty awesome, there
Okay.
really wasn't a whole lot to choose from.
Right.
Like,
Movies about fire, but maybe not
yeah,
talk with the title.
right.
Okay.
So, like, I can't do Backdraft because it doesn't have
Right.
fire in the
Right.
title.
Right.
So
Right.
anything like that is out.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, so you got movies like Quest for Fire, which I saw that, not in
Hmm.
my
Which
top
one?
5.
Quest for Fire?
Quest for Fire. It's
I don't think
about
I've seen that
it's
one.
about
No.
cavemen,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no really talking in it. It's just grunts and and it's a quest for fire. Ball of Fire, Chariots of Fire, which won
Right.
an Oscar. I
Yep.
don't know how, but it did.
Kirk Douglas, right? On that one?
I don't.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Whatever.
But
Some guy.
Chariots of Fire was
I
not.
thought.
Dun, 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 dun,
I mean, that's an
dun.
iconic song now.
Oh, that movie is just so bad. It's
Is it?
boring.
I have never seen it.
So there's Fire Over England, Fire Down Below, Harry Potter, and the Goblet of
Goblet.
Fire.
Right.
Did not make my list, by the way. I'm not a Harry Potter fan.
No, me neither. I've actually never seen it. I really don't know.
So, and there's even Bonfire of the Vanities and Firefox. Also, did not make. Oh no, I shouldn't say Firefox, but Bonfire of the Vanities did not make my list.
Clearly,
Even though
Firefox
that
did.
really describes what we needed to do, right?
Yes, right. Yes.
Bonfire, right?
Of the vanities, yes. That's why
Yeah.
Hollywood burns.
Yeah. So did not make my list. My
Mhm.
honorable mentions: Firefox with Clint Eastwood.
Okay.
That
I love
was like
Clint
right at the
Eastwood.
bottom, and I was debating whether or not I was even going to put it. So probably not. The Firestarter remake from a couple of years back, which actually was a pretty decent movie.
Hmm.
Fire in the Sky, DB Sweeney.
DB Sweeney.
Yeah, DB Sweeney. Fire in the
What?
Sky, honorable mention. Then the real honorable mentions. Those were like fake ones.
Okay.
Uh, just because there's so few movies with fire that were good. Courage Under Fire
Right.
with
Yes.
Denzel and
Yes.
Meg Ryan, right?
Yeah. You gotta love Denzel.
Yeah, you have to. Courage
Even
Under
though he's
Fire, great
Hollywood,
movie.
but
Yeah,
I can be okay with Denzel.
yeah. And then my bubble movie number 6,
Hmm.
Saint Elmo's Fire,
Right. Yes.
which they're making a second one, by the way.
Oh no way.
Yeah, they're all on board. Everybody's on board.
Such great
Making
music.
a second
Yeah.
one. All right. So number 5 is Reign of Fire with Matthew McConaughey and
Okay.
Christian Bale.
Interesting. I don't know if I've seen it, but
It was pretty
2002.
good.
Hmm.
It was pretty
Okay.
good. Dragons,
I mean, those are
but
two fantastic actors, so
yeah. And it was like modern time dragon,
hmm,
you know? So
cool.
it was pretty good. I liked it. I liked it. Number 4, I have the original Firestarter from 1984.
Okay.
Fantastic movie.
Okay.
Stephen King, right?
Oh, right. Is that Drew Barrymore too? Little
Yes,
little
I believe it is.
little Drew Barrymore.
Yeah,
Interesting. Cute.
yeah. Yep. It's been a while since I've seen it,
Hmm,
but it was enjoyable, you know?
cool.
Number 3,
Mhm.
The Hunger Games Catching Fire.
You're right. Yep. What a
I
great
actually
series The
love
Hunger
that
Games are.
series of movies.
They're
Love it.
so good. You know what? It's social commentary, and that's why I love it. You think,
Yeah.
oh, it's post-apocalyptic, whatever. No, it's literally like what's going to happen.
Yeah. I love the series, and Jennifer Lawrence was absolutely
She's a great
fantastic in
actress.
that
Yeah.
series. She was phenomenal.
I think I don't
Phenomenal.
hate Jennifer Lawrence because she's just like very genuinely her. Like she's very awkward, and I appreciate that as someone who's also very awkward in real life. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
So it seems more real.
she's
She doesn't
more,
take
yeah,
herself too
exactly.
seriously
More
like
real
Hollywood
than
does.
Hollywood, right?
Yeah, she seems very just genuine, which I appreciate.
Mega star now though.
Totally.
Number 2, and this was tough because it was like number 1 and 2 I was like wavering on
Right.
it. But another Denzel movie, Man
Mhm.
on Fire,
Yeah, great movie.
where with Dakota Fanning in that, the little girl, and
Mhm.
I thought they had such a good chemistry
Right.
in that movie. It was awesome. I loved it. Loved
Totally.
it, loved it, loved it.
Yes.
And then but
Okay, then
number
what's number
1,
1? I am torn on this one.
Clint Eastwood in the Line of Fire
Okay.
with
Renee
John
Russo.
Malkovich and Rene Russo. I love Rene Russo.
Mhm.
One of
I
my
like
favorite
John
people.
Malkovich too.
Yeah. So with the three of them in a
Mhm.
movie,
You can't
that
go
movie
wrong
was
with
so
Clint
good.
Eastwood. Like, he's just
No,
so
he was.
badass. Even as an old man, he's badass.
Yeah,
Like, Gran
yeah.
Torino, man, what a
Oh my
great
god, I
movie.
love that movie.
Like,
It's a great movie.
I could see maybe Koreans being offended by it being called zipper heads, but, like, he's just so good in it.
Yeah, yeah, but
Uh,
that's what he was. He was one of those
for
old
sure,
men that most people found him distasteful,
as most old men are,
as most men, as
because
most men are. Not
because
even old.
because it's a cultural thing. You can't even blame the guy. It's what they were raised with. This is like
Yeah,
you can't get mad at old people
yeah.
for the way they once were. They're not going to change. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Everyone knows this.
No. So I
Great,
love the
great list.
movie. Those. I really think those top three are just
Those are great
amazing
movies.
films.
Yeah.
And then I mean there were a lot of fire movies that they were saying that was above some of these.
Mm.
Like In the Line of Fire was like rated like at like number 18 or 19 or something
Whoa,
like
no
that.
way.
And I'm like, you're out of your mind. This is why we don't listen to film critics.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So a
Well,
fun little list there.
that was a good
I'm
list. I
gonna
liked it.
I'm probably gonna watch, In the Line of Fire again because that was such a good movie.
Yeah, why not?
You know.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, no, good list. It fits in perfectly for today.
Yeah.
Well, now it's time for my top 5
Yes, it's like
or maybe
it's
10.
almost like a debut. It's like when you get a
Yeah.
package and you do an opening of the package.
Yeah.
This is what it's like.
Yes, totally. Like, I often do a countdown on here. It's never really my opinion. Even when it came to,
Right.
like, the best songs of the '80s or the best songs of the '90s, there was no specific order because this is tough. I don't know how you do this. And as I
Yeah.
started writing this down, it just the list just kept going. So I said
This is what I'm
behind the
saying.
scenes
And you
here.
forget things too.
Totally. So as I was doing more research, this would come up, and I was like, "Man, I don't have enough room in my brain for this today." So this is my top 5, maybe top 10, maybe top 20. We'll see. I'm gonna
I
put
can't
this
wait.
as
I know how you guys feel because I don't even know what the list is about. And it's exciting
yeah,
because now I'm gonna get those gears turning, and I can't wait to find out what this is.
totally. Okay, so I had to think, what are my favorite conspiracy theories? Okay? But to further that, I'm calling it my favorite hoaxes. Okay.
Oh,
My
oh,
top
so
five.
it's not. Oh man.
So I'm gonna go in the same format as you, where I'm gonna give you ones that didn't make my list. I'm gonna give you my honorable mentions, okay, and then I've maybe narrowed it down.
Sounds good. This is great.
Okay,
Oh, I
trying to
love
get
this.
comfortable for this. Okay, I don't. Nobody knows this. So post cancer, my body just hurts all the time. It's because my muscles are real atrophied from not doing anything for 2 years.
Right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I am sore all the time. By the time I'm done a show, I am like rickety. Okay. So I'm just
Yeah.
adjusting to try and get comfortable for this. Plus I'm bare leg, bare bum on a leather chair, so it's not feeling so hot right
Oh.
now. Yeah. Okay, so my favorite hoax is how about this one? We talked about this earlier. Nazis in Antarctica. They say that the
Ah,
Nazis
there we
went to
go.
Antarctica. Didn't make my list. A good one. I definitely believe it. I mean, if you're going to hide, remember we were talking about this, where you're going to hide from the government? Probably Antarctica. But like,
Yeah,
I hate
because
myself.
nobody goes out there to do anything
Well,
except for.
you can't go past the wall.
Well, yeah.
So to
Okay.
further that, the ice wall didn't make my list. It's on there. How about this one? Hitler goes to South America.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that
Operation
one.
Paperclip. Yes. Where
I've
there's
heard of that
apparently a
one.
lot of Nazis there. Also, Hitler supposedly didn't kill himself in a bunker somewhere with Eva Braun. He apparently got transported by the help of the US government to South America. Interesting. Didn't make my list, but a good one.
That is a good one.
Here's another one, celebrities being recloned. So there's a lot of things on the internet that show historical people who look identical to celebrities now. People like
Yeah.
John Travolta, Nicolas Cage, Ellen DeGeneres, Peter Dinklage, just to name a few. Jim Carrey, Abraham Lincoln, like Tom Hanks. Like people that look identical to people of the past. Now, don't get me wrong, there are doppelgangers out there. There are people who look similar to you, but some of these are uncanny, okay?
I
So
just saw
whether
Sammy Hagar at Wendy's the other day.
no way, just enjoying a JBC. Hilarious. I love it.
I was like, I'm looking and I'm like, wait, why does he look like Sammy Hagar? He even had the hair like he used to
Amazing.
have.
Totally.
And I just started singing Sammy Hagar in there, and everybody's looking at me strange. And then they look at him and they laugh.
Amazing. That's so awesome. See, now reincarnated, probably not. A doppelganger, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the thought that it's a celebrity reclone or a reincarnation. I don't know if I believe in reincarnation. I
I'm
don't think I do.
surprised it isn't like out in the public that they're doing this. Because
Yeah,
who wouldn't want some of these people back? You know? I mean,
right.
all this talk about Elvis,
Right.
why not clone him?
Well,
Why
I
not?
mean, okay, didn't make my list, but Elvis still being alive,
See? See?
right? There's a
That would be
guy
me.
out there. What the heck is his name here? Oh, it's someone I follow on Instagram. Um, let me find it here. His name, oh, Donald Marshall. He's supposed to be deep into the Hollywood elites. He talks about cloning all the time, going to these big events where celebrities watch this rituals with these clones, and like it's pretty deep. And I go, I don't know. I like how have they not killed this guy? But apparently he's very influential in the Hollywood scene where he's like writing music for people, things like that. I don't know. His name is Donald Marshall. Look into him. He's very interesting. Didn't make my list. Simpsons, as we just talked about, didn't make my list.
Mm,
Reptilians. You've heard about reptilians, how a lot of celebrities, political powers, people in power are of this reptilian. They
yeah.
say alien, I say demon race. Maybe. Didn't make my list.
The old Men in Black thing.
Totally. MK Ultra, a mind control device used like a legitimately proven thing used by the CIA. They were doing trials with acid or LSD on people. It really messes people up, but basically sleeper agents. Think Jason Bourne, think Captain America. Like
Yep.
sleeper agents, basically. Didn't make my list, although that should be up a little bit higher.
I think really likely when it comes to Russia and China.
Hmm. Totally. Well, but the other thing too is people are saying that there could be sleeper agents anywhere. Anyone who have been MK Ultra through SA or
Right.
SRA, which is satanic ritual abuse, where
Yeah.
literally your body dissociates. You know, you've heard of multiple personality disorder, which is dissociative disorder. People literally
Right.
can shut down. You shut down parts of your brain in a way to preserve yourself, right?
Yeah.
Self-preservation.
Yeah. It's
But then an
definitely
alter is
possible.
formed.
I, I think that is more likely happening.
Totally. Well, I mean, this is from the 60s, you know, from the
Yeah.
CIA. Think Zoolander, okay? When they have to just have relax.
Technology is already there.
Yes.
It's already there.
Agreed. 100% it is. All right, how about, well, Beyond the Ice Wall, didn't make my list. Celebrity skin masks, this is an interesting one where they say celebrities are playing other celebrities or just wearing masks or makeup. One specifically, someone thought James Woods and or Jim Carrey playing Joe Biden. Look into it. Didn't make my list, but it's a deep rabbit hole to go down.
That's the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible thing.
Yeah, totally. Like these deep fakes, they're not AI, they're just really good makeup. I don't know. You'll most people will hate me for saying this one. One that I think is a hoax that we are blowing out of proportion, climate change. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think the climate is changing. Yes, I 100% believe it. Okay, I see you about to rub your face, okay? I do think the climate is changing. However, I believe that the world is cyclical. Alberta is one of the coldest places on earth, and yet at one point it supposedly was a tropical place. Okay. I think this is just part of Earth, you know, that climate changes. Do I think it's a concern? Probably not for my generation. Maybe for my kids, maybe for my grandkids. Do I think it's a big deal that Canadians need to pay a shite ton of taxes to fight it? No, absolutely not. I know you're not saying much. It's okay. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. This is just my personal
Yeah,
list, right?
I think we're in more trouble than what people realize.
And maybe we are. Maybe we are. I just feel like we have bigger fish to fry than
Yeah.
slow
Well,
climate
those
change.
fish are going to be in your backyard pretty soon.
Listen, I really truly believe that at the end of the world, let's say, as we know it, it is going to be very weather changing, okay? Like
Uh,
I think that we're going to start seeing a heck of a lot more natural disasters and things like
I'm
that.
one of the only people that love the movie Waterworld, and
With
that's
Kevin
what we're going to
Costner.
be in pretty soon.
Totally. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Okay, chemtrails, that's one I absolutely believe in that people try not to believe, but I believe it. How about this one? That the AIDS epidemic happened because they created it in order to kill gay people and black people.
Now that I believe.
Terrible. That's a horrible thing. But if you look into Fauci's connection with AIDS back then, giving them a drug that really was making it worse. Okay, Fauci is a bad man. Fauci deserves to be in Guantanamo Bay. All right, same thing that he did with COVID. He did with AIDS. Look into it, people. Didn't make my list. Excuse me. All right, Princess Diana being killed by the royal family. Another good one. Didn't make my list. She knew too much. She knew too much, Ron. I know you're looking confused. I'm telling you, there are stories for all of
Well,
these.
that one, well, because I never really paid attention to the royal family, so I don't know what those things there. I didn't know about conspiracies about that.
Hmm.
So I really could care less.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, I suppose it's possible. Anything is
Hmm.
possible.
Totally. I agree. All right, Britney Spears is not really alive anymore. This is not on my list, but a good one, and we are going to do it one day, I'm telling you. Joan Rivers dying. Conspiracy. Not on my list. She
Wait,
got in, she got in trouble for some things that she said. There have been a lot of sightings of someone with a changed face, but the same face shape, same voice, but not that tight version that what we know today.
I mean, she's got to be. She's
Like
old.
100 years old, 100%. But again, if you can believe that, the elites can do all these things, I'm sure we can believe that they can make people live a lot older than they actually are, right? Maybe there's healing
I
beds, bed
suppose. I mean,
beds.
Tom Cruise looks like he's 40.
I know, he looks good. Plastic surgery, man. All right, here we go. Here is my honorable mentions. The Maui fires of 2023. 2024? When was it? It just happened. Now,
Last year, I thought it was.
yeah, a lot of people are saying that it was because they wanted that prime property and people weren't willing to sell. So, guess what? You're going to burn it down and then the government's going to buy it back from you on pennies on the dollar. Honorable mention.
That could be.
Yeah. Like,
That's definitely got a lot of potential.
there was a lot of celebrities out in Maui. How come their properties didn't burn down? Just the poor people's. And then Oprah came in and she swooped in to save the day by just buying up all this land. Interesting.
So Oprah bought it all?
Some of it. There's a lot surrounding the Maui fires. Look into it,
Hmm.
people. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. The Maui fire property.
Yep, it is an interesting one. This one may be controversial, but I'm doing it. The Sandy Hook school shooting was faked to bring in gun control laws.
I don't believe that one because it didn't work.
Well, I don't know. At the time, they were trying.
Yeah, they were trying, but they never succeed because it just doesn't happen.
Right. I mean,
Because the NRA is in the pockets of all the politicians.
for sure. Now, I wouldn't have actually thought that, but at the time, it was before like a lot of these deep fakes and internet hoaxes. But there was a lot of stuff being shown at different tragedies, different school shootings. I think at the Boston Marathon of the same families or the same people being different characters in those tragedies. This is where it gets my head going a little bit. How is the same person at 3 different events as 3 different people who just happens to be a part of it? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
That's okay. It's just again, it's not necessarily that it's true. It's just something that could be a hoax. And I put it on my list here.
Okay.
Honorable mention, the Challenger explosion. Listen, there are a lot of videos out there of the people who supposedly died on there living their best life.
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna
That
send it to
clearly
you.
blew up.
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna send it to you. Some videos here. And okay, what we got here?
And I know what your number one is going to be, but
Maybe, maybe not. Of course, the Epstein, that whole thing, he'd killed himself. That's definitely an honorable mention here. The JFK assassination by the CIA and not by just some random shooter. Honorable mention. Agenda
see,
2030.
I still say it is Joe DiMaggio.
Okay, like a Marilyn Monroe thing. Maybe.
Yeah, I
Totally. It
think
could be.
that is, to me, that is the number one reason to kill somebody. It is pure jealousy.
Totally. Yeah, true. There's a lot of interesting theories on the JFK assassination. There's a lot of cool documentaries on it. Some
Mm.
say the gunshot came from the car, from his wife, CIA, Preston Bush, who was, the grandfather of George W. Bush, father of George
See,
Bush.
now the thing is, with Joe DiMaggio having mob ties, it could be, like
A
the
hit. Yeah,
CIA or something like that,
totally.
because it's all connecting to the mob,
Yep.
in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think Joe DiMaggio is the one that made it happen.
Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see it. See, the thing about being a conspiracy theorist is that you have to be open-minded to all of the possibilities. If someone came out at the end of the world and all of the knowledge is bestowed to us, let's say, if you're a believer in God, God comes back, whatever, um, and all of the knowledge is now in my head of everything that ever happened, and they said, "Hey, actually, you know, this did happen to JFK, or this
Yeah,
did
see, that
happen
would
with
be my number
Epstein."
one right now. That would be my number one.
The JFK one?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. See, I'm open-minded to it. Like I said, it's the end of the world and I find out the
Yeah,
truth. I'm okay with that. It's
yeah.
just part of being a conspiracy theorist is you have to be open-minded. All right, what have we got here? Okay, how about this one? Number 5 on my list. Titanic was an inside job.
Yeah.
You've
You
heard
know
this,
what?
okay.
That would probably be my second because
Yeah.
there was a lot of things like um what is the guy? I can't remember the guy's name. Go ahead, go through the story because then it'll refresh my
Well,
memory.
basically, before the Federal Reserve was set up, there was banking a certain way, and a lot of the elites, the powerhouses of the day, were going to take this ride because this was the first of its kind, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly the first of its kind, and this ship
And
was
one guy didn't
unsinkable.
go and all the others did.
What was it? J.P.
And
Morgan didn't go. Oh, he backed out.
right,
Whoopsies.
that's who it was. JP Morgan.
He backed
Yeah.
out last minute, and guess what? All of these people went down. It just seemed like a lot of stuff went wrong.
It was
I mean,
murder.
yeah, let's
It
just put
was
it that
murder
way.
for a couple of people and just everybody else was there because of innocent bystanders.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I truly believe that one.
Hmm.
So that would probably be my number 2.
Perfect. My number 4, again, controversial. Michelle Obama is actually a man. Look into it. Ron, look into it. She's got a white pair of pants on the Ellen DeGeneres show. That is not a female body part making that movement, okay? That is what I'm saying. And this is supposedly why Joan Rivers was killed because they said, "Oh, do you think we'll ever see a gay president?" And she's like, "We already have one, Barack Obama." Like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Michelle Obama's a man." And then she died. I mean, she died a while later, but like that's what people are saying is the cause for that. She got turned off by the Illuminati. We talked about this. Look into it. Okay, my top 3. This is tough. I'm going to go with number 3, the moon landing behind me.
Number 3?
Uh-huh. There's 2 more that are way better than this.
Wow, I thought that was going to be number 1. Oh my
I
god, which
know,
I
I know, I
totally
know.
disagree with. I think they actually went to the moon.
I don't think so. The fact that Buzz Aldrin has come out many times saying it never happened. It's almost like he's glitching. Like again, MK Ultra to believe what's happening, and then he glitches out and says, "No, we didn't go to the moon." He said it a few times. The fact that Stanley Kubrick came out saying that he filmed it and then was killed shortly after. Sorry, died shortly after. The fact that the flag has wind to blow. You don't blow on the moon. There's no wind. I don't know. There's just a lot of things. So this is what people are saying. The moon landing is fake. And again, some really good documentaries debunking it. Again, if it comes out that it was true, it actually happened in 1960 whatever 9 when even though it's 2025 and it's like we haven't been back because like is technology worse 6 years later? I don't know. But if it came out at the end of the world that it was true, okay, I'll believe it. I don't think it is though. I think it's fake. Okay, this is a tough one between the 2. Which one am I going to go with? Which one am I going to go with? Okay, I'm going to go with number 2, 9/11. An inside job. If you believe it was just an act of terrorism, I think you are wrong on that. The day before it happened, Donald Rumsfeld came out saying that they've lost trillions of dollars. They don't know where it went. The next morning, the towers came down. No one ever thought about that $1 trillion ever again. I can't remember his name, Silverstein, he was the owner of the Twin Towers. He ate breakfast in the Twin Towers every single morning. He just, oh, oops, I forgot something. Didn't show up to work that day. For years and years and years, he ate there every single morning. Didn't show up that morning. Steel beams being melted, yet passports are still around to survive the tail, right? Passports of terrorists. All right. I mean, the agenda was that they wanted to invade and had needed a reason to do it. I don't know. Building
It's
7.
possible. No, it's
Building
possible.
the fact that it starts to collapse from the bottom instead of like it's just there's too many things that don't make sense. Plus that silver guy whatever had just taken out a huge insurance policy shortly prior to this also. Just saying. All right, and number 1
No,
on
that's
my
a
list.
possibility.
Yeah, it is a possibility. 100%. All right, number 1 on my list, and I know we are 45 minutes over the longest episode to date, but it was going to be well worth it. The number 1 hoax, in my opinion, is COVID. The biggest hoax to ever come across the land was COVID. I think it was man made. I think it was not nearly what they said it was. I think they
Oh, well, the
inflated the
fact that,
numbers.
look, I believe that it was real. Now, whether it was man made or not, I don't
Right.
know. I mean, it was a real thing. People were really getting sick. I know people that died from it.
Did they die from COVID or did they
Yeah.
die of comorbidities? This is what we have to think about. You could
So,
have, listen, I had cancer, I had chemo. Chemo is tough, it shuts down your immune system. If you have that and then you got COVID and then died, they're counting that as a COVID death. But realistically, it wasn't COVID that
yeah,
killed you.
no, I
It was
think
the poison they pumped
the
into you
death
prior.
from it is a little ballooned.
Greatly
Um,
ballooned to push an agenda.
I, 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 I do think that it was an actual thing.
For sure.
Whether it's man made or not, I don't know. I have
Right.
no idea. There's no way anybody's ever going to be able to prove anything like that.
Exactly.
Um, it's and it was kind of a weird timed thing,
Oh, it was brutal.
but I mean, it could be, you know, not as bad as it was, but I do know people that died from it, and
For sure. I mean,
um,
like anything, how many
it's
people die from the
right.
flu? How many people die from the common cold? How many people die from, falling and breaking their hip, getting a scratch and it becoming infected? People die from a lot of things. It depends how the media wants to sensationalize it.
I do have to say though, I worked with a lot of people that actually had it,
Mhm.
and I never got it.
Interesting.
Not once.
Interesting.
Not once.
I did get it. But like chances are if everyone is testing for everything all the time, chances are you're gonna start getting positives, right? Like,
But
if you tested every cold.
what is telling when you have those meat lockers, basically, the
Mhm,
trucks in the
mhm,
big cities that were filled with dead bodies,
mhm.
that is a real virus. Now, with that being said,
Yes.
not I'm not saying that it wasn't deliberate.
Mhm.
I mean, it just seemed too massive
A massive
to
and, uh, instantaneous. It
yeah,
wasn't like a gradual thing like most things are.
right.
I think there are a lot of people who have come out with videos of when they were like, "Oh, the hospitals are overrun, we can't keep up with it." The TV shows were showing this, but then, like, actual videos were, like, in a hospital, and they're like, "There's not a single person here." Like, it's completely empty. Or then in the early days, they were showing, like, people in Wuhan just, like, falling flat on their face. Like, "Oh my gosh, this epidemic, this pandemic," whatever it's called, and then there was people, they're like, "Look at all these dead bodies behind us," and it shows, like, bodies on a gurney covered in a blanket, and you just see
I
their
mean,
feet,
what
and
all
you look
this comes
close, and you
down
realize
to
that they're mannequins.
yeah, you look what it all comes down to is the rich are controlling everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the information that they want you to have, no matter what.
For sure. Yeah.
So, so when something happens, they are telling the news media, what they want people to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of
And
course.
that's why when all these leaks happen, a leak of this, or it could be just something, you know about an athlete, it is leaked for a reason.
Yes, exactly.
So
They send people to the wolves when they decide that it's their time to be sent to the wolves. I've said this before with I don't know, like with Diddy. Everyone was in on it. Diddy got taken down. Jeffrey
yeah.
Epstein got taken down. Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby got taken down. Kevin Spacey, but it doesn't mean that a million other ones weren't in on it. It's just who
Oh
are they going to
no,
send to
that's
the
what I'm
wolves
saying.
to keep your eyes off of everything? I'm telling you, they give you just enough to keep
Just
you
enough.
interested, but to keep you distracted. And usually when something big comes out, it's because they're hiding something else.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that was pretty awesome.
yeah, that's our longest show to date. I knew it would
Yes,
be.
hour and 42 minutes
Yeah,
right now.
I
Because
could
don't
go on
forget, we started
forever.
late.
We did, yeah. I could go on forever about conspiracies. I had a show with my friends called, well, originally it was called Steve and Dave. I can't even remember what it was called because we changed it right away. We changed it to the Big Mike Show. Big Mike as a reference to Michelle Obama. And the Big Mike Show, but we use it Mike, MIC, with a microphone. It was all conspiracies. I think we had about 30, 35 episodes, and it was really good, but it was just I was getting sicker and I didn't know.
Yeah.
And eventually I just like I lost steam for it. And I think it's because cancer was brewing in my body. Um, but it was a good show and it was very conspiracy minded. And we talked like this all the time. And I love it and I miss it. And maybe I need to do more conspiracy topics on this show because it fuels
I'm
me.
still waiting for the Britney Spears one.
It's
There's a
just
few of them that I think I'm waiting for.
there's so much to talk about with the Britney Spears one. I will compile them, I promise. But I mean,
I'll have to do
like,
some specials.
yeah, like the whole episode. We don't even need to do other topics. I'm just going to talk for 1 hour on Britney Spears. Yes.
Can
Well,
do it. We can
thank you
do it.
everyone for joining us here for 2 hours. Join us on Saturday when Lena and Ira will be here. I hope Ira's feeling better at this point. I think he gave me his cold from New York. I think that's what happened.
Could be. He sent a virus through the computer.
Yeah, exactly. I just touched the screen and it was like, duh, infected. That's how COVID is spread. So check us out again on all our social medias, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch to watch us live. And feel free to comment. Danny, thank you for being here, commenting as usual. I appreciate you. Did he just send that? Oh, he did. It is fake. Which one specifically? What's fake? Anyways, yeah, be back with us Saturday next week. I don't know if we even have the schedule for next week, but hopefully Ron has
I
only
know
one
we
show
have
to do.
Monday. Monday is you and Martin.
Okay, perfect. Join us for me and Martin for a very cultured show on Monday. And then the rest of the week is up in the air.
Yep. Have a great day,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.